welcome to Seize the Day blog. My name is Katie and this is Epilepsy Insight number 12. I would like to share with you today a little tip that I have been doing since the very beginning of my diagnosis with epilepsy, and that is cataloging and journaling. So my parents actually started it for me, and because I was 15 when I was diagnosed, so I wasn't exactly committed. I had so many other important things to be doing, but high school. So when I turned 18 though, I became really committed and I took over for them. But it is because of their cataloging and journaling when I was 15 that we actually discovered I have more than just epilepsy. I have a special type called catamenial epilepsy, which is caused by a hormone imbalance, and it correlates with my periods. So, having seizures is enough, and then you throw menstrual cycles in and that just ups the fun. So anyway, we made a huge discovery and were able to be really careful around specific times of the month and watch for seizures during that time and know that I'm extra sensitive during that time as well. And it really made a huge difference for my family and I, especially because I don't get an aura. I know that a lot of people do, but I don't. And so every seizure is a surprise. Every seizure, there's never any little indication that is going to let us know, hey, this might be coming on. It's just, here's a seizure, there you go, deal with it. So even more fun. But the point of this is there's not a lot that I can do with my brain because the brain is so complicated and medication doesn't work for me. And many supplements that I've tried don't work for me either. So I like to be able to catalog and journal all of the details from my own journey because it gives me a reference point. It allows me to kind of look back and notice patterns. And even it's very encouraging because a lot of times there are so many years when I can look back on periods where I don't have any seizure activity. And then I can look back now where I'm having seizure activity and think, well, what's causing this? And to be able to have that reference point, it really answers a lot of questions, and it's very, very encouraging most of the time for me. And the biggest thing is that it's knowledge. It gives me knowledge on my own condition because every brain is different. Every person's case of epilepsy is different. I know that there are so many drugs that are given to people to handle many cases just across the board, but the truth is every case is unique to you. So when you're diagnosed with epilepsy, the best thing that you can do is to catalog and journal your seizures, your food, supplements you're taking or medications you're taking, changes in medications, and even changes in lifestyle. It's so important because a lot of things have an influence on your brain, and they can really, sometimes it can be the difference between having a seizure and not having a seizure to be able to know exactly what could be causing it and to look back and see where you have seizure activity and where you don't, and what you're doing at this point and what you're doing at that point and the differences between the two. It has answered a lot of questions for me, and it's also helped me to determine exactly how I should be eating, and it's helped me to learn a lot of my seizure triggers, and overall it's just been amazing. I love it. It's not super easy. I understand that it can sound maybe a little bit like a waste of time, and I totally get that. I understand. I've been there, and there are times when I write things down where I'm thinking this probably really isn't very important, and then there's like a year or two down the road where I'm like, man, I'm so glad I recorded that. Way to go, Katie. And it's just, it could be the simplest of things. The tiniest detail can make a world of difference for you. And that's what it's all about. It's all about leading to your own personal healing and getting there. You get answers, and you're able to get there a lot quicker when you have those answers. And a lot of that can come from journaling and past experiences. So my parents started off doing it with a calendar, like a wall calendar. But I prefer to use a little journal like this. It's a lot easier to store. And it's really nice to keep track of things. I like in this journal, I keep track of seizure activity. I keep track of supplements that I'm taking and my menstrual cycle. So it may look a little bit overwhelming and like it doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense to me, so that's what's important. And I also keep a journal of my meals, everything I'm eating. So everything that is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even supplements up here and some seizure activity. And I like to keep a little note section in the side for little things that are just noteworthy for that day, or even maybe things that I'm incorporating that are new. I like to keep track of it because some of those new incorporations can be seizure triggers. My body is very sensitive, and so it's often there are seizures triggered by a lot of different things. So my list of seizure triggers is very long, but to add something new to that list is good because then I can avoid it and I know what to avoid in the future. And that's what we're all trying to do, right? We're all trying to find healing, and that's what I hope for you too. And this journaling has been so beneficial to me and encouraging, and it's answered a lot of those questions that doctors just, they can't, because it's me. You know, no one knows my body like me, and they certainly don't know my daily schedule. They don't know my regimen and how sensitive I am. And so it works so well to be able to look back and to give me the knowledge that I'm looking for. So to answer those questions that I may have, or just random thoughts, and I go back and look at it and it's like, hey, you know what? I kind of learned more than I even expected I was going to. So I love it. And I've been doing it for 11 years. My family and I have found it so beneficial to be able to go back and look at that information and to look at my improvement and to look at seizures overall. It really helps us to know how to move forward. It helps me to know what to do and maybe even what not to do. And that's a great starting point when you're trying to do things that are healing you and to prevent future seizure activity. So I hope this helps, and you can find all of these journals there easily. I prefer Rifle Paper Company. They make really cute ones, but you can get them anywhere, and it's super easy. It's super cheap. All it takes is a little bit of time and dedication. So, but it's definitely worth it. I have learned that. I have 11 years telling me that it's completely worth it. So I highly recommend it, and I hope it helps you. So thanks for watching.